Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Doja here, back to more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and this time with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we're going through everything in the super limit breaking new update, because they basically just revealed all the changes, patches, characters, skills, costumes, accessories, all in one update on the Dragon Ball official site and the Sparking Zero official website. We're going to quickly go through this site first, then we're going to go through the Dragon Ball official website, because this site is the one that actually contains all of the new information pertaining to characters, accessories, etc. So without further ado, let's get into this. Over 30 new characters have been added. By the way, I want to mention something really quick. The top of this banner is Gohan's new ultimate of flying through a Bojack. That's like a gillion aura. That's like a bazillion, quintillion aura. Whoever came up with that, they're smart. They're smart. Put them in more things. Let them do more of your banner art. Okay, but yeah, there's going to be several new characters added to this, and the first one we have is the World Martial Arts Tournament version of Goku. So that is a new character. I did kind of call that. There's also a World Martial Arts version of Piccolo Jr. and then obviously his giant form. And to confirm for a lot of people, yes, even Tien. So they're actually doing OG Dragon Ball Tien, which is actually really surprising to see. I thought they would genuinely just make him like a costume or accessory or something, but no, he's actually a whole separate character. So that's pretty cool. Grandpa Gohan, Nam, Android 8, Tao Pai Pai, General Blue, and it looks like he even comes with a mech, but that's probably part of his super attack. King Piccolo, Chi-Chi, and that's it for the OG Dragon Ball characters. But to be honest, we finally actually have a good roster when it comes to original Dragon Ball in this game. Like, that's very nice. And I don't mind that kids Chi-Chi got replaced with adult Chi-Chi. If anything, I like adult Chi-Chi far more, so thank God. Then we got SSJ Bardock, who's obviously a transformation for base Bardock, but I'm curious, they haven't actually shown DBS Bardock in Super Saiyan yet, because don't forget, DBS Bardock is the main Bardock of this game. I hope you can still put Super Saiyan on DBS Bardock, mostly for Aura, right, because we've never seen DBS Bardock be in Super Saiyan. This will be the first time we get to see that, so that's actually really cool. Then we got Toma and Fasha, but their names are obviously translated super weird here. In fact, a lot of the names are translated super weird here, but we know this is Toma and Fasha. Then we got Chilled, Solza, Zangia, Pycon, Mighty Mask, which is insane as a character, Supreme Kai, which is, finally hasn't been a Dragon Ball game in God knows how long, Kid Oob, King Vegeta, which is very surprising, especially because he can't even go Great Ape in this game. Chilai, Champa with no Vados, very sad for all the Vados fans out there. I know In Between Gamer is crying right now. Jacko, GT Vegeta, who can also go SSJ. The same with GT Trunks, who also goes Super Saiyan. Hellfighter 17, so yeah, he's a different character. He is not a costume for regular 17. He's a whole separate character. So basically, GT 17 as a character, then Super 17, and Nova Shenron. No Ice Shenron. So Ice Shenron will probably end up being a skin for Nova Shenron or a costume, which would be funny because imagine doing fire super attacks while looking like Ice Shenron. And now we have costume only changes. These are just outfits of no super attack replacements. They only just, are different costumes. So again, Kid Goku, we got Cell Saga Z Goku's like chill casual fit, which I love a lot so much. We also have one for Gohan as well. And then the Broly movie outfit for Kid Trunks, and the Broly movie outfit for Videl, and GT 18, which is actually really shocking. I was thinking that they would add Superhero 18, but to be fair, if there's going to be a big Super 17 focus in this DLC, meaning that most likely they'll update the story modes to include a GT section, since we now have Nova Shenron and Super 17, GT Vegeta, GT Trunks, we've got a bunch of GT characters that they can basically add to do the GT part of the story mode. And now we've got GT 18 outfit. Safe to say that we're going to get a GT expansion to the story mode, because we know there are story expansions in this, so yeah. And now outfits that actually change your skills, which is what most people are going to be hyped for. We got the Cooler Movie Piccolo, who has a new attack. Now, they do say Ultimate Blast changes to this. I do want to point out that most of these changes are exclusively to the Ultimates, which is kind of insane. I thought some of these would change regular super attacks, but it seems like all of the ultimates are the things that got big changes here. So Movie Piccolo has a new ultimate attack, the one specific long arm grab he does when he's fighting Solza. But Tournament of Power Piccolo also has a new ultimate blast. This one is really, really cool though, because you can see in the image, it's the combined attack he does of Gohan during the Tournament of Power, which is thank the Lord. I'm very curious how that's going to look in the game. Is the guy he's special beam cannon, like hitting the special beam cannon, going to come out of the Kamehameha at the top? Or is it going to be like the second Namekian, who's all the way at the very back and gets lasered like a massive hole through him? Because I really want to see how these moves will work. Krillin gets a new ultimate, not 18 though, that's actually crazy. But I guess this is more for reason for people to play Krillin in the game, so that's fair. Krillin gets a new ultimate attack, where he obviously throws the round cannon ball of 18, the pendulum blast. Goku and Frieza both get Miracle of Universe 7, which is like, thank God. I was hoping it'd be both of them, because if it was just Goku, that'd be kind of upsetting for DBS Frieza players. And Frieza does need a new ultimate, so Miracle of Universe 7, absolutely baller ultimate. Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta also get a new combined ultimate, with the Kamehameha Gallic Gun. And they never explained why the Gallic Gun is yellow, but I'm gonna be honest, it's probably just for aura. finally, the ones that people have been really, really hyped for, costumes that change appearance and your skills. And we have the false Super Saiyan Goku here. Well, they actually say Ultimate Blast changes to Legend Strike. I think Legend Strike is the rough translation for whatever the name is going to be. But I do want to point something out. They do mention that the costume also changes your appearance and your skills in this one. So this is one of the rare times where the character is actually going to have multiple stuff adjusted just for this. We'll have to wait and see when the game actually releases, like when this update releases fully, how this is going to affect false SSJ Goku. But the fact that the cooler movie Goku actually does look different in Super Saiyan than the normal Super Saiyan Z Goku, that's very interesting because that normally doesn't happen. So I'm very curious to see how that affects false SSJ Goku. We know he's not an Awoken, at least, right? Because here they say Son Goku Z mid-season Super Saiyan. They explicitly state he is transformed in this, and they also state he's transformed in this one too. Same with Gohan here. So that means that this is not a transformation, but I'm still curious to see how much of his costume is actually adjusted by having the false Super Saiyan ultimate attack. Then we also have the cooler movie Goku, who gets the new ultimate attack, full power Kamehameha, the one who uses the pushback supernova. Very curious how that full animation is going to actually look in the game, because again, it's only ultimate attacks that are being adjusted here. Then we got End of Z Goku, which is really, really cool here, and they say his ultimate blast changes to Vanishing Meteor. And it's actually really cool that they said it's Goku's later Z stage and it's not a separate character, because this means that he can actually just go Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 in this stage. And hell, you could probably fuse in this outfit too, which would be even funny. Imagine End of Z Goku fusing with Vegeta. So he'll still have the rest of his moves, which means End of Z Goku is going to have Dragon Fist in Super Saiyan 3. Holy aura. But he gets a new ultimate attack, which is the Vanishing Kamehameha. He does against Oob that, you know, almost knocks him out of the ring before he goes, hey, let's train. And then, oh my god, finally, the Z Broly uppercut movie. This changes to Legend Smash. Again, obviously, this is an ultimate attack, but I was actually really glad to see, because I thought this move was a dramatic finish and not like, I thought it was like, oh, it's unique only to Broly. No, thank god, he could do this to anyone in the game. So people are going to start making really funny images of Goku punching, like, I don't know, Chi-Chi or his son or anybody else in the game. Just punching them in the gut and watching them explode, which is going to be absolutely hilarious. Then we got Gohan's new ultimate. Finally, Bojack can stop stealing Gohan's chain. Gohan has his actual move back. His ultimate blast changes to Flash of Lightning, and this is still one of the coolest attacks in Dragon Ball, so I'm really glad that they added it to the actual character who uses it. And then we have Adult Gohan here. He gets Punishment Rush, which is like, I don't remember anything that happened in Gohan School Arc. As much as I like the slice of life Dragon Ball stuff, I legit just do not remember that. And then we have Z-Sword Gohan. I was thinking the Z-Sword would be a part of his new moveset, but nope, it's only his ultimate attack, which is pretty sad. Now, it is Adult Gohan, so you can still go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 while wearing this fit, meaning he doesn't lose Bro's Kamehameha, which is, you know, extra hype, because Bro's Kamehameha in this outfit is going to go super duper hard. But I wish that the Z-Sword was more of his moveset rather than just his ultimate attack. Still, though, it's fine. If you want to do your fancies of playing Tech Ultimate Gohan in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, it's there. Oh, here we go. So Trunks Fighter. It becomes impossible to transform into Super Trunks. Oh, so when Trunks is in this outfit specifically, he can't go into like his ultra thick mode. That makes sense, obviously, because he never did that when he was in this outfit. But does it change his attacks at all, or is it just a new fit in general? Either way, that's pretty interesting. Bardock can transform into a Super Saiyan. Yeah, we got confirmation of that earlier, but now we have full confirmation of it. And Android 17Z can fuse with Hellfighter. Yeah, if Hellfighter 17 is on the team where Ultimate Blast transforms into Hell Combination, they can combine into Super 17 GT. So Hellfighter 17 gets a new ultimate attack as well. I mean, that makes sense. He's a separate character. He's going to have a new ultimate attack. But I guess Hellfighter 17 has multiple presets, which is why they stated he needs to have a specific ultimate attack to be able to go into Super 17. Okay, that makes sense. And then Videl Costume 3, which is just Gross Woman. Ultimate Blast changes into Justice Judgment. Very interesting. And then we have the new stages. Kami's Lookout, Kame House, 2 different locations. Ice Map, Space on Planet Earth, and Space on Planet Vegeta. Very nice. And then obviously the new feature, which is to make your character much stronger in the new solo exclusive mode. And if you want to know more about the new solo exclusive mode, god, this looks so nice. If you want to know more about the solo exclusive mode, we're going to have to go to the Dragon Ball official website for that, so bear with us. But the new story mode expansions and the custom battle update finally. So episode battle mode was the story mode. That's always been a translation for story mode. And in the story mode, they'll be adding stories for Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, and Cell. Very nice that we got another villain one. Obviously, some people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe they only did Earthling characters. That's going to be so boring, blah, 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 blah. No, look, if they go hard with the what ifs, we could get some serious peak here. We could get peak like Yamcha Black. Okay, to be fair, I don't think they'll do anything as insane as Gohan Black ever again. We didn't even get Gohan Black as a character. The expansion came out and Gohan Black never became playable. That's actually kind of sad. We'll get new stories of Tien. I'm very curious if they'll just do a Mystic Tien meme, because I do want to remind you guys, Bandai Namco is aware of memes that people make. Gohan Blanco became Gohan Beast. John 1000 actually got called John 1000 in the actual Xenoverse 3, not a joke. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do some jokes like Mystic Tien exclusive to the story mode. We'll get stuff for Krillin for the Tournament Power, obviously, because they gave him a whole new ultimate attack. And they gave him a GT storyline, technically, because, you know, GT 18 is now in the game. So Krillin's probably going to have some GT stuff as well. And Cell is obviously going to get a new story mode, because Cell is one of those characters that I'm not going to lie has a ton of potential, because you see what Team 4-Star does with Cell, you see what Devil Artemis does with Cell, you see what Death Battle did with Cell versus Metal Sonic. Cell's one of those characters that has infinite popularity outside of his own series, but in his own series, he literally has one arc and it gets referenced in a movie with the villain just taking his name and not actually being Cell that way. So it's actually insane to see that Cell is going to finally get his own story mode, but hopefully they'll do something really, really cool with Cell, because again, Cell is giga popular outside of his own series, funnily enough. So hopefully Cell gets some cool stuff, because Frieza really just gets like revenge fantasy stuff. Goku Black is the most boring. It's literally just what if Goku Black won at different stages of the Zero Mortal plan, and Jiren at least gets something interesting with what if Jiren won the Tournament of Power. So hopefully Cell gets one of the unique ones. Hopefully he gets like, you know, Goku level stuff, Gohan level stuff, because Gohan and Goku got the most interesting what ifs by far. Hell, maybe we'll get Cell Tournament of Power, which would be super hype to see. I wonder if the Miracle of Universe 7 is going to be done with Gohan instead. That would be super duper hype. But okay, we're done with this part. I know I said it'd be quick, but guess what? There's just so much information it can't be quick. So now onto the official Dragon Ball website for more information. Now again, this is all rough translated because they hate us over on the English side and they didn't actually make an English version of this post, so we'll have to put some pieces together all by ourselves. But the Neo DLC for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will be released on Thursday, July 30th. Experience the new mode, the path to breaking the limits ahead of time. The release date for the massive downloadable content for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Genkai Chotopa Neo has been set on Thursday, July 30th, 2026, available for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 versions at a later date. The announcement trailer released in April revealed numerous additional elements, including many new characters making their first appearance in the Dragon Ball Z Sparking series, new costumes and techniques, new stages, and a new battle system, as well as the existence of a new game mode titled Towards Even Greater Super Warriors. Now, the official name of this new game mode has been revealed as the Path to Genkai Chotopa. What exactly does it mean to break through the limits even further? To answer this question, we've requested an interview with Bandai Namco's Entertainment. Thanks to their generosity, we're given a rare opportunity to play this new mode in advance. In this article, the staff of the Dragon Ball official site will deliver with all their might Genkai Chotopa and the overwhelming excitement we felt during the actual playtest. Please note this playtest obviously uses dedicated data and some specifications different from the final product. That's very obvious. And what is the path to breaking through limits? This is obviously the new game mode that we saw, and they're going to explain it in full here. You can even see the character is leveling up and gaining SP and bonus points, but we'll know more about this the further we go. So onwards, this is man, this is enormous. Okay, so if we were to describe the path to breaking the limits in one sentence, it would be a solo play mode where you can explore the map, acquire items and experience points for random events and battles, and raise your own ultimate character. Wow, that kind of sounds like the Android 18 dating sim, but titled way less about NTR and more about actually breaking the limits and being a character in the world of Dragon Ball. That's actually quite entertaining to see. So almost every game mode from Tenkaichi 3 has made a return here, and retains the immersive 3D battle action where you become a Dragon Ball character, while also incorporating elements that allow you to strengthen your favorite character. It becomes possible to create the ultimate Super Warrior like never before, literally breaking the limits of Sparking Zero. Let's take a look at the system and progression of this mode, which we discovered through playtesting. Aim for the ultimate warrior who breaks the limits in test play. Various before starting. Oh, various settings before starting. Okay, so we even have a new screen for this, which is King Kai's planet. That's absolutely fire, man. That's actually sick, and that's beautiful too. Now let's start by actually playing the new mode. I want to see if some of these character slots feature any new characters. No, wait, hold up. Oh no, that's Ultra Instinct signed Goku. I was gonna say, because it looks like there's a Goku after Dragon Ball Super Goku, but Ultra Instinct signed Goku, and they must have compiled his form with the other Goku, because the transformations on here, like blue and all that stuff, it's the smaller version of the roster. So okay, I was just seeing if they managed to sneak any new characters here that we haven't seen before. There is a new Ultimate Gohan there, right? Adult Gohan, Ultimate Gohan. Who is this? That's another Ultimate Gohan, right? Is that Z-Sword Gohan? Or is this, I don't know, because I feel like any version of Goku, other than Kid Goku, Kid Goku's later in the roster, but there's a new version of Gohan here, so that might be the Z-Sword Gohan, who knows? Either way, let's get started. This time I choose Son Goku Super. After selecting a character, you choose the difficulty level for this mode. The higher the difficulty, the more experience points you can earn during gameplay. Since it's my first time playing, I choose normal. Son! Okay, I'm just kidding. He's allowed to pick whichever difficulty he wants, but you guys know I'm starting with super hard mode. If you're playing this mode, you're probably already somewhat familiar with the controls of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. For those confident in their skills, we encourage you to try the strong difficulty level. You're guaranteed to be thrilled by the unexpected strength of the enemies. Oh, I know for a fact I will. Next, you'll move to the rank selection screen. Here, determine the range of sparking power here and after SP of the enemies that will appear. So they're going to be calling sparking power SP for the rest of this. That makes sense. Oh, dynamic. Oh, dynamic's actually the name of the first Dragon Ball Super opening as well. Okay, that's a very nice reference. When you first play, you can only choose level 1, where SP ranges from 1 to 5, however, clearing the selected level will unlock higher levels. Here I'd like to explain the SP element that symbolizes character development in this mode. In this mode, SP is like a character's level. By gaining experience points and increasing SP, you strengthen various parameters of your character. Ah, okay, so this doesn't just remind me of the Android 18 dating sim from Tenkaichi 3. This reminds me of the Red Ribbon Army like arena mode from Budokai 3, I recall. You could level up your story mode characters even further beyond in this mode. And it wasn't just story mode characters, you could also do this with I think every character in the game. But story mode characters had a head start, obviously, because you were playing them in the story mode as well. That's actually really cool to see. So enemy characters that stand in your way have SP assigned to them too, with strong enemies having even higher SP. There are several elements to character development, but you can think of the basis as gaining more experience and aiming for higher SP. Furthermore, this mode is designed with repeated playthroughs in mind. Challenge the game again and again with characters whose SP has been increased by clearing the game. Defeat even stronger opponents and push your character to the pinnacle of potential. Yeah, so it's almost exactly like the arena mode, where the difficulty gets higher and higher if you've beaten it with a certain character, or if your level is higher in general. Which meaning if you do both, if you're a high level and you've beaten it with that character already before, you can take on even more ridiculous, goofy challenges. By the way, I just want to say this right now before anyone says anything. I beat all of Budokai 3 story mode on stream on like Z3 difficulty. So I'm ready for this, okay? And don't ask how many times I save scummed. On the next item selection screen, you can use the Zenny you've earned in-game to set items that will provide various benefits to your gameplay. Is this natural Zenny or is this Zenny from this game mode? Because if it's natural Zenny, I'm loaded. I have so much Zenny from how much I've been playing Sparking Zero, it's going to look like cheating because I can just pick any item I want whenever I want. Games such as increased experience points and stamina recovery. Ooh, so okay, stamina recovery probably means health, right? Because health sometimes gets translated to stamina. You could choose effects that pursue higher risk and higher rewards, such as enemies become stronger, but experience gained increases. 100% I'm picking that. Once you have finished resetting these up, the battle to break through the limits finally begins. And now we're going to see the first screen, which should be the map screen. Oh, the 2 Zenos. Wow, okay. Am I stupid? This is the first time we're seeing the double Zenos in Sparking Zero. Because if I recall, when you actually do the Zenos Palace screen in the main menu, you only see one Zeno. And I don't think even any of the cutscenes for the Tournament of Power mode show both Zenos. So I could be wrong, but that's actually very cool to see. The opening features an original story. Oh, original short story for this mode. The introduction states, at the behest of the Omni King, warriors from across time and worlds have been gathered to wage a new battle. This suggests that anyone can be an opponent regardless of the character you play. Furthermore, the training results are shared across different forms of the same character. For example, if you train Super Saiyan Goku, the parameters for Super Saiyan Goku, well, I'm sure they meant Super Saiyan God Goku, or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, will also be strengthened accordingly. So training is never wasted no matter which form you're with. So obviously there's more benefits to training with characters that have multiple forms than less. So if you're a Frieza main or a Goku main, you know, it's looking good for you. Just like in other modes, you can also choose the form you want to use at the start of battle. I wonder if that affects difficulty, because I don't know if DP was an effect or affected game modes. They would have mentioned that by now, right? So I guess everyone's at the same level technically, and SP is what determines it. So out with the DP system and in with the SP system. Oh, look at this map screen. Holy. Well, Pan is level 40 at the start. Damn. You know what? Knowing me, I'd still pick that fight anyways. But when the game starts, you are taken to the world map screen. Selecting an icon square on the map triggers a battle or event. And one turn passes. You clear the stage by defeating the final boss, waiting for you in the 10th turn. Oh, yeah. So just like the dating sim. But if your HP runs out and you're defeated along the way, it's game over. So unlike the dating sim mode, I'm going to keep calling it the dating sim, I'm so sorry. Unlike the Tenkaichi Dating Sim mode, you actually can fight other things before getting to the 10th day. If I recall, in that mode, you couldn't actually lose inside of the world, but you could get your health load and you could get screwed over, but you weren't forced into fights randomly. You could only do fights if it was on the literal final day, which this is, you know, taking inspiration from, but you can fight anybody anytime, because that clearly says day 1, top right. And all of these fights are available during day 1, so you can probably go to these different nodes, do different events all over the map here, and then if you're feeling brave, you could try and do one of these bigger fights. Okay, that makes sense. And the first one is Grandpa Gohan, highlighted here because obviously his level is the closest to Goku's level, so the game probably has a recommendation system for what you should do, maybe? That's kind of interesting to see. Up to this point, the game doesn't seem particularly complex, but what brings a deep strategic element to this mode is the presence of stamina. Oh, you can actually see stamina down there, and you also get 2 sensu beans, but I wonder if that's only for your health or only for your stamina. The bar displayed below Goku is his stamina. Yeah, I kind of figured that much out, but thank you anyways. Stamina is consumed by moving around the world map, and the longer the distance traveled, the more stamina is consumed. Oh, so you don't want to fly from like the bottom to the top, otherwise you're just setting yourself up crazy. Most importantly, the system determines the player's HP at the start of a battle. Aha, so it's exactly like the dating sim. That is your health bar. Okay. According to the producer's explanation, if your stamina is low, you start the battle with reduced HP. In other words, if you enter a battle with stamina at its lowest, you could be hit by an enemy combo and get a game over in 1 hit. A truly desperate situation. You might think, then why not just conserve stamina, only travel short distances? But stamina has other important elements that troubles the player. That is a bonus applied to the experience gained at the end of a battle based on remaining stamina. Oh, so if you win a battle with like 1 HP left, you could go crazy and get tons of XP, okay? For every 1 stamina consumed, a 1% experience points is added. For example, if your maximum stamina is 100 and you currently have 50 stamina consumed, you win a battle, experience points will be 50% higher than usual. I was gonna say, I probably play this at 50% HP then, just to make sure I'm always getting that big boost. Oh, there's a Beerus and a baby and a future Gohan on the map too. That's very nice to see. And a special event at Kame House. Okay, so this is the screen for turn 3. After moving, stamina decreases to 48, 52 consumed. So your experience points displayed would be a 52% increase or 152, which we do see down here. You can see this says 152, so that's actually nice. We got actual confirmation for that. The more dire the situation, the stronger you can become by overcoming fierce battles. This characteristic of the Saiyans, so typical of Dragon Ball, is cleverly incorporated into the stamina system, which I find truly impressive. Will you strategically plan your turn by conserving stamina at a nearby event square to prepare for the next mid-boss battle? Or will you deliberately use up your stamina to the very limit, facing a powerful opponent with your back against the wall to gain a massive amount of experience points? Assessing your own skills and map situation and strategically managing your stamina will be the key to success. I imagine it would be very hard to do a lot of these big fights with like your lowest possible health. But sometimes that might not be your choice. You can't decide that. Some people are going to be crazy and force low stamina so they can get more XP. I'd probably say for the early game, that's viable, right? You could probably get away with having like 20% of your HP, so long as you're fighting low-level enemies on the map, or even a low-level boss, like the day 10 boss, for example. You could probably get away with that. So, yeah, that's actually really curious to see how players are gonna make that work. This is the screen for turn 6. The player's judgment is put to the test. Find nearby enemies while conserving stamina, or move further away to trigger an event. Oh yeah, you can find nearby enemies to not use up as much stamina. Or do you want to try your luck at event and see if anything goes well for you? Ooh, that's a good point, because you could go all the way to that event and it will be a fight harder than all 3 of these fights here. So that can happen too. That's actually, oh man, I can't wait for this game mode. Just like the survival game mode, this was fun. This explanation has become a bit long, but there's no doubt that this tense feeling of stamina management is the real appeal to the game mode. Indeed. Strengthen your characters through events and battles. So is this going to be how your characters stay powered up afterwards? Now, returning to the playtesting process, various squares are placed on the map each turn, and selecting them advances the turn. The squares on the map can be broadly divided into the following 3 types. Event squares, conversations occur and you can obtain enhancement items called battle skills. Battle squares, where you fight enemies corresponding to your SP. This is the main way to gain experience points. And question mark squares, where it's unpredictable what happens, such as a battle or a conversation. This is a gamble element aimed for a lucky break in character development. Be careful about that lucky break. You might get Yuji Itadori character development, where you suffer like crazy and maybe something good happens in the end. Let's see. Furthermore, the types and arrangement of squares on the map are updated each turn, so you can enjoy a fresh route selection every time. And these are the 3 squares, by the way: conversation, battle, question mark. And now, that's the same screen as the one we saw before, so nothing new here. On the 6th turn, selecting an event square triggered a conversation event with Muten Roshi, who bestowed upon me the tips for fighting. Is that an item that boosts your power? Aha, that's what those icons are about. Okay, now we know. The battle skills are positioned like performance items in this mode, so capsules, and equipping them to the character can boost their performance. Hell yeah. Okay, I can't read any of that, but that says something about SP plus 10. That probably means 10% SP gain or XP gain. That's very curious to see. Or maybe it just outright gives you 10 extra SP. That would be wild, but I don't think that's the case because you can see Goku's SP here is 14, and then in the next screen it's 14. His stamina went down, but his SP didn't raise, so it probably isn't that. It's probably experience gained. While the main effect fixed for each bestows upon the 3 items, they're completely random. Oh, so some effects are random. Damn, they made Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Night Rain. What the hell? The enjoyment of obtaining a battle manifestation that matches your training strategy and playstyle and is an essential element in aiming to become your ideal super warrior. True as heck. The equipment slots for battle skills expand each time a character's SP exceeds a certain value in the test play. The second slot was unlocked when SP reached 10, so keep raising your SP to expand your strengthening options. In Battle Square, you can enjoy thrilling battles against powerful opponents. Since the purpose of this mode is character development through solo play, there are no major differences in system from other modes, except that you cannot switch to other characters. Okay, so it's like most other fighting modes, except you can't swap character, which is like fair game, you know. Become your character and fight with all your might. Very, very cool. Your SP increases each time you defeat an enemy and you gain a certain amount of experience points. You can then allocate the points to earn you earn strength in your character's various parameters, and look at that. Run from it, hide from it, you cannot escape from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Okay, what are the stats here? Do they mention what the stats are at any point? They don't, damn. Okay, I guess I'll have to figure that out. So this one's HP, that's obviously melee attack, because melee attack and blast attack are 2 different blast damage types. Then we got key charge speed, and then, what is this explosion, this fiery object here? I totally forgot what this is. Was this natural key recovery? I think no, one of these is key recovery, and the other one is something else. But this final one is defense. Okay, character enhancements can be performed on this screen. Total of 6. I put all my points into attack point up. This guy's a real demon. He might be too soul's brained, where he thinks, nah, I can dodge everything, so I don't need any defense. I'll just maximize my attack damage and that's it. What an animal. You can customize your character to your liking by raising each parameter in a balanced way or by making the most of each character's unique characteristics. Aha, that's a good example. For example, if you're playing Vegeta, you probably want to max out as much blast attack as possible, especially if you're playing Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, because he gets Gamma Burst Flash, and that is one of the best Ki Blast supers by far in the whole game. So there's no reason to leave your Ki Blast damage lowered. If you're playing Vegeta, you level that up. So yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, again, if you're playing tankier characters, again, Raccoon, Cell Max, any of the more durable dudes, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Broly, then defense can actually be seen as quite viable, especially when enemies start one-shotting. So, in addition to the experience points from stamina reduction mentioned earlier, you also get a large XP point bonus by defeating enemies with SP higher than yourself. I knew you would. Challenging stronger enemies without fear of risk is the quickest way to raise your SP. How you push beyond your limits along with stamina management is where the player skill will be put to the test. I'm 100% fighting like level 40 Pan. If I start this game mode, by the way. Pan is like 8 years old. I'm gonna easily win that fight, even at SP1. Mid-boss battle awaits you on the 5th turn, and a final boss battle awaits you on the 10th turn. Ah, so it doesn't go all the way up to like day 70. It goes all the way only up to day 10. Okay, that's interesting. We'll see how that goes. Awaits you on a 10th battle. The final boss appears on the map from the 9th turn. Can you fight him early? Can you just be insane and fight him early? Mid-boss battle, you won't know what kind of enemy it is until the battle begins. So you won't know what a mid-boss is until you could pick from the 3 of them. But you do get an idea of what they might be, because this one has white SP, meaning it's around the same level as the players or lower than the players. This is yellow, so it's a bit more dangerous, and this is red for you're probably gonna die. But you know what? I'm always picking red, bro. If it's a super boss and he's several levels higher than me, that's an XP farm. I'm okay with that. There are 3 mini bosses. You can choose one based on their strength. For the enemy's SPs around your own, it will be displayed as question mark in white. If it's slightly higher, it's orange, and if it's significantly higher, it's red, allowing you to get an idea of the difficulty. This time, I chose the orange enemy and had a fierce battle with Frost. Damn! Imagine Goku having to go gods just to do anything to Frost. This is a versus battle wiki meme, by the way. But yeah, the new map too, that's actually really nice to see. Starting with low stamina and reduced HP, I was forced into a nail-biting battle. Oh damn, he starts with low HP too, so he's gonna get hella XP from that. That's good to see. Each player selects a character and generally faces one boss. We encourage you to discover other characters. Oh, we'll discover which characters facing with which final boss after the game's release. Okay, is the final boss specific then? Maybe you always get Cell if you're Gohan, and you always get Gohan if you're Cell. Who knows? Special battles that broaden the range of strategies. Furthermore, we were able to confirm 2 special battles during this test play. The first is a special battle that occurs when you challenge an enemy with a yellow question. Oh, with a yellow exclamation mark displayed on the battle square. Where? Where? Oh, here. Those are the big highlighted ones. Okay. I'm curious how that goes. The exclamation mark to the right of the margin of Vegeta indicates a special battle. In special battles, various challenges are presented that restrict the player's actions. The challenge we encountered this time was watch out for ultimate blast. I'm guessing that means you die in one hit if an ultimate attack hits you. In the challenge, the ultimate blast, which is normally only usable in sparking mode, can be used by enemies in their normal states if certain conditions are met. What? Well, at least Final Explosion is self-destructive, right? Moreover, Majin Vegeta's ultimate blast, Final Explosion, is a self-destruct technique that inflicts massive damage on itself, also deals massive damage to enemies in a certain range. Since there is no way to survive it if it's suddenly activated at close range, a flexible strategy from the different is required, such as keeping the enemy at bay from a distance. Although the difficulty of the challenge increases, a bonus is added to the experience points gained upon winning. So, if you are confident in your skills, you may want to actively aim to clear the special battles. Okay. Sounds interesting. Majin Vegeta with the ability to always ultimate. That sounds really funny. Another type is an intrusion battle. Oh, I'm guessing you get randomly attacked sometimes. In the test play, we're unable to verify the details. Oh, they didn't get to see it. The details and conditions for the occurrence, but it occurred spontaneously when moving to an event square, for example. Sometimes a guy will just beat the crap out of you when you're just trying to go visit Chi-Chi and ask her about how the cooking's going. Take on a challenge or avoid it will appear. What? I'm saying yes every time. This is a bonus battle. We can earn experience points without consuming turns. Ooh, extra XP for free. Hell yeah. However, it comes to the risk that you won't know your opponent's... Oh, yeah, that's actually kind of scary. It could just be a max level enemy. You won't know your opponent's SP beforehand, so the player's judgment is tested as to whether to greedily go for the experience points or play it safe. Well, I'm a psycho, so I'm saying yes pretty much every time. The trump cards for stamina recovery. Oh, was it Kame House? The staff had been progressed clearly with the test play, but then they encountered a major problem. If you run out of stamina before clearing the stage, how do you recover stamina? At turn 7, my stamina was completely depleted. If you proceed into battle like this, you start off almost 0 HP and the game is inevitable. Oh, the game over is inevitable, but you can be saved with a sensu bean. So yeah, just like the Android 18 dating sim, you could use a sensu bean, except this time you actually know how many you have. With the 18 dating sim, I can't remember how long it took for a sensu bean to recharge, but sometimes I remember it took longer than a 10-day cycle. So this time though, you get a fixed 2 sensu beans. So you can be a bit chaotic sometimes, and you can use sensu beans to correct those mistakes. That's pretty cool. The sensu bean, a familiar all-purpose item that instantly heals serious injuries and satisfies hunger for 10 days, or just one bean retains its effectiveness in this mode as well. It fully restores all... By the way, they mentioned the hunger for 10 days thing, which if I recall, Dragon Ball stopped mentioning that because they kind of removed it from the plot that sensu beans can fill your belly. I think that's interesting. Okay. Furthermore, it comes with the exceptional bonus of 0 stamina consumption during movement during the turn it's used. Oh, you have infinite stamina on the sensu bean turns? Bro, where are you? So let's say you're here. I'm flying all the way over to Bardock, and he's kind of a high level. But I'm Jacko. I'm flying all the way over to Jacko and I'm beating the sense out of him, bro. According to producer, we recommend using it right before a boss battle to ensure you're fully prepared and ready to go into battle with maximum HP. That's true. And also, you would get less XP if you're at full health at the start of a battle. But at the same time, would you rather lose? That's a good point. However, the number of times you could use sensu bean is limited by the difficulty. So in normal mode they got 2, but in strong mode you probably only get 1. And then if you unlock another difficulty after that, because they heavily implied you could, you probably just don't get any. But then how would that work? Maybe you have to just find them on the map? Nah, you probably always still get 1, but you just have to be way careful with how you'd play, I guess. That's very interesting. Okay. So it's based on difficulty. In addition, there is a challenge element where you can get a special experience point bonus if you clear the game without using sensu beans. Okay, so you'd have to pick really low level fights and things around you, but that's very interesting to see. So deciding when to use a sensu bean will be a dilemma for players until the very end. Besides sensu beans, there are also items you can bring with you that increase the amount of stamina recovered at the end of battles. Oh, so we do recover stamina naturally. Okay, that's good to know. So we recommend using those if you have enough Zenny. Hell yeah, I got loads of Zenny, bro. If you've been playing Sparking Zone since the day it came out, you have enough Zenny to buy everything in the store like 18 million times over, and then also just like low diff this game mode. I deleted the final boss and successfully cleared the game. My fighting pose is also perfect, bro. The phrasing, oh no, it says defeated. I thought it said deleted, bro. I was gonna say I defeated the final boss and successfully cleared the game. My fighting pose is also perfect. Heck yeah, good stuff, Bandai. Wait, is it a Bandai guy who played this? A Dragon Ball official site member who played this. Rewards after clearing the game and the path to further development continue. Okay. You can receive various rewards when you clear the game, and among them is a reward that allows you to re-roll the sub-effects of battle skills. On normal difficulty, 1 redraw is possible, so we get even more on harder difficulties and none on easy. When I tried re-rolling, the concepts of sub-skills changed completely and the skill levels also fluctuated. There's an element of pickup similar to that found in the hack and slash games, but the fact that you can do some degree of pickup not only during gameplay but also after clearing the game made me feel that the game's balance was just right. Neither too easy nor too difficult. Oh, that's a good point. The substats look like the numbers went up. Before I'm seeing 121, now I'm seeing 417, so those jump quite a bit, and that's only on normal mode. Damn. Instantly, sub-effects went from level 1 to 7 of higher numbers indicating stronger effects. This detailed information is carefully explained in the tutorial during your first playthrough, so be sure to check out. In this test, I reached SP23 in a single clear by using this character to play the path to breaking limits again. You can further increase its strength. Yeah, so you could go even further beyond. Okay, you can also start training a new character. My first playthrough involved reviewing the tutorials. I was able to complete one playthrough in about 25 minutes. Once that's pretty good. Once players become familiar with game mechanics, I'm sure many will be able to complete playthrough smoothly in under 20 minutes. The extremely minimal stress of loading an animation during map selection and movement, as well as the subtle details like the background of the next map changing depending on the position of the square you land on, demonstrate a remarkable balance of the pacing and immersion, which are all noteworthy features. Heck yeah. Oh, here's the big one. Here's the thing we saw a little bit of in the trailer. Battles between characters pushing their limits is now possible. And best of all, you can actually use characters you've painstakingly nurtured in this mode, the path to breaking through limits in player matches and offline battles. You can control your proudly trained strongest characters and enjoy thrilling super battles against rivals and friends from all over the world. Of course, you can switch the use of trained characters on and off in the player match room settings, so even those who want to compete purely on their playing skills with normal character performance can enjoy battles with a peace of mind. Additionally, as you grow, the aura you emit will... Oh yes, here we go. The aura you emit when gathering energy will increase, but if you prefer the familiar usual size, you could choose to revert it back. Heck no, bro. You want to know why? I love Dragon Ball Aura being super colossal. That's a W. We need our DBZ auras to be as big and as imposing as possible. That's what they started doing in Dragon Ball, man. Look, don't get me wrong, the normal key charge size is fine, and future Dragon Ball games will continue to do this. Heck, I bet you Xenoverse 3 isn't going to even do these giga giant key charge sizes until maybe much later, if this idea really takes off in Sparking Zero. But this is one of the only games where you can make your key charge absolutely ridiculous, and I'm all for it. The size of the aura when the character's SP 300, it's flashy and cool, but also makes you more easily spotted by opponents. I don't give a damn. If I'm SP 300, what's my enemy even going to do to me? Nothing, exactly. By the way, look how much health Gohan has. He's got 3 buffs on him permanently on 2. Yeah, 3 buffs on him permanently. And he's got 5 health bars? Damn. Lastly, the new mode, Path to Limit Breaking Neo, retains the overwhelming exhilaration and intensity of the battles that the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero boasts, while incorporating the new elements of training and strengthening. I thought that players who have played the game extensively up till now will be able to immerse themselves even more. Oh, you know I will. Furthermore, this massive DLC, Limit Breaking Neo, includes many additional elements that could not be covered in this play report, like... Oh, they didn't tell us. Okay, so there's many more things we still need to see. Details are available on the producer letters below, so be sure to check that out thoroughly, and look forward to the release date on Thursday 30th. Oh, heck yeah. So we've already seen this already. That's fine. And that is the end of the page. Man, that was a meaty, chunky update to that. So, by the way, I'm going to save this now for those of you guys who made it to the end of the video. You could do all of this with mods, meaning that you could be fighting Jotaro Kujo, Saber from Fate Stay Night, Sonic the Hedgehog at SP like 300 on the battlefield. Or hell, you could play Sasuke and level him up in this. The potential for this is so ridiculous. It doesn't even just stop at the base game. It goes all the way to the mods, and that is legendary. I cannot wait to see what level Sparking Zero gets to all of this added, because especially when we start to get to that peak Spanish modded phase, like Tenkaichi 3 reached, then Sparking Zero's mods combined with all the gameplay additions is going to make this game even more magical than Tenkaichi 3. Holy crap. The only thing I say, please let us change the color of our key at some point. You mentioned that a million years ago. We still didn't have the feature to do that. We could only change to the V jump aura. We would like to have the ability to change the color of our key. Bandit Namco, please, I need this. I want to get Final Form cooler SSJ4 key like when I was a kid. Alright, but that is the end of this article, and without further ado, I think that's also a pretty solid place to end the video, mates. If you guys enjoyed the video, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video, don't forget to subscribe to greatly support the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. And I think that's it. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Love you all, and I'll see you all next time, gang. Take care, and Peace. Bye-bye.